in terms of leniency, and that's with quality control, production, whatever you want to call it. Where do you see people go, tend to be lenient in terms of their production?
We have a woodworking and mill area that's a very active area. And I'm thinking about my friends at Classic Exhibits right now, who this is what they do. It's so much what they do. I mean, those guys are just incredible. Not just the woodworking, but the metal bending and what they do with aluminum. And you know what I've heard people say is like, oh yeah, but Classic costs more. Well, do you really, it's what we talked about earlier. Do you really understand the value of what they're doing? Do you know what the investment would be for you to make? You were going to do those things. So I think for us, they're like, in woodworking, they're like Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and we're like a MASH unit, BJ and Martin's Hawkeye. But I think people go back and we'll see people sell things and not give the value. They don't understand what it would take. Case in point, I'm across my office. I'm looking at a 1 meter white laminated counter with a LED edge around it. If I'm going to make just one of those, it's $1,183 to make it as it stands over there in the corner. If I'm going to make 10, I can bring that cost down 10 at a time. But when somebody comes back and goes, yeah, I want to rent that for, I was thinking like $150, and it needs to be in a color maybe I don't have, so I have to change a color, or maybe the shape's a little bit different. And, so I see people that don't value the 27 man hours it's going to take to make something. So I think that's in our process. There's a reason we have estimators, and there's a reason our pricing is what it is. And if 150 is your budget, I can show you some things we've made in the past and used that are on the shelf that may not be 150, but it'll be a lot closer to that. Anyway, I think I think one is what it takes to fabricate something like that. Number two, why are you guys charging me all this labor to prep my rental? Well, if you don't realize, we do a full dress rehearsal before your show, everything that's going out. So it happens not once, but twice. And it gets repacked, dismantled twice, and repacked and custom labeled and prepped. And we're not charging what the rates on the show floor are for doing that. It's a warehouse rate. It's not a union journeyman rate. But to your point, but all that costs money. And I remember being guys where we didn't charge for that. And you go, oh, if you pay, $150 for a frame rental, it's going to include us taking 4 days to set it up and label it and take it down, and it's just included in your 150. Well, that you can't stay in business very long with that. So again, process. We're talking about where in the process. So I think true fabrication. I think pulling and prepping and respecting the time it takes to do all that. The most expensive place, Khalil, to make changes, fixes, or to build or to meet for the first time is on the trade show floor. So when things all meet there for the first time, that is the worst place. So anything we do in preparation there is to limit the costs that are going to be spent at show site during the client event. It's also stressful for the client to watch the sausage gets made at their show site, right? No, they don't want to see that. So anyway, when I think about process, I think it's a lot happens on the planning and the before and the prep. And you have to have a defined process in order to manage costs and deliver the win, right, at show site.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, with this one, probably more than others, you can see in real time your reputation score go down. And that matters so much in a business where word of mouth and repeat customers are everything. And so you don't want to be lenient in something that can have such a big stake riding on it.